Hello, hello. You are early. You're earlier than I am by, a second or two. Just getting everything set up here. All right, I think everything's working. It was a bit of a shambles right before the stream started. It was like everything in OBS just did not want to work. So I had to restart my computer, restart OBS, whatever. Nobody cares about the behind the scenes stuff. But the point is, it's working now, and I'm basically on time. Hello, hello. How are we doing? You're back. You're back. So I'm going to start. I promised my sister and also my niece that I would start with her request, which was a hybrid animal. We'll do that as like the warm up and then get into some sketch requests from the never ending sketch request list. So I guess it is going backwards a little bit to do a hybrid animal, but I can't say no to a little girl. So she wanted what she called an okapi, which is a zebra giraffe hybrid. I'm pretty sure I have that in my to-do list. I can just ask you. You're here now. It's a zebra giraffe hybrid, right? Is the okapi? You were at a sleepover. That sounds fun. Yeah, it was a bit of a shambles getting it to work, but it works now, so that's what matters. Okay. Making sure my pen works. Great. All right. Need to know what a giraffe looks like. I've never seen one before. But seriously, we need reference images. Giraffe and zebra. She says yes. Okay, great. She's the expert, so. All right, a zebra giraffe hybrid. So I'm guessing it'll have a long leg. Long leg. Well, giraffes do have long legs, but long neck like a giraffe, stripes like a zebra, and I'll figure the rest out as I do it. So let's sketch a giraffe body to get things started. And we'll make it like a long neck, but maybe not realistic proportions, just to keep it cute and squishy. I'm trying to get an idea of roughly how tall everything is, but I might squish it and compact it to make it cute, because you know how we do things around here. They do have very long legs, as you would expect. Or maybe it could have short legs, so it's like a, what kind of cat is that? Is it the Scottish Fold, where they have like the stumpy legs? So it could have regular zebra legs, but then the super tall long neck? Is that silly in a good way or silly in a bad way? I can't tell. I could have it bending over to drink water or something, but that might be even more silly. I kind of like the idea of having it look upright and smiley and kind of optimistic like that. More cartoony. Stumpy leggies. Yeah, I think stumpy leggies are the way to go. I'm glad we're on board with the stumpy leggies. We'll make them even stumpier than this, I think. We just get the shape and feeling of them right, and then we can make them stumpy. She's into it. The short legs. Good. Maybe slightly bigger hooves to give this thing a chance at standing upright. If the hooves are nice and thick, maybe it'd be able to support its weight. Hope everyone is having a good weekend as well. All I've done today is this and a voice lesson and the subsequent walk back from the voice lesson. Well, I guess the walk to and from. It is hot today, so I took a nap after that. So it's been really a day. It's like 91 out here, 91 Fahrenheit. I don't know what that is in Celsius. I'm American, I'm sorry. But it's hot. Make them thicker? Yeah, I think so too. I was just thinking that with this back one. This is a really messy sketch, but we're all regulars here. We know it'll get cleaned up. And are the hooves like that? No, let me look up giraffe foot or zebra foot. I guess it doesn't matter. Giraffe foot. Yeah, it's got like a little bump That's what I thought. It's got like a fat little bump at the bottom. I don't know what the anatomical terms are, but it's got like a bump and then cloven hoof. And it doesn't need to be super detailed as we're keeping it cartoony anyhow, but like round this out, round that out. Okapi, I think spelled Okapi like that. I think. The nose is kind of giving Moomin right now. It's kind of bubbly, and I might lean into that and just make everything super bubbly. Curvy and bubbly and squishy. Round and simplify this shoulder blade type area out. I should learn the anatomical names for things on animals, but who has the time? I do actually. I actually have plenty of free time, especially lately. By the way, the link at the top of the screen that I added 5 minutes before the stream started while I was getting everything to work, alyssaaaron.com/tree. That's just a general like Linktree style page that links to my social media as well as commission links if anybody's interested. It is a slower season from now until probably closer to Christmas time. So I got to start getting better at advertising myself, and this is the first step. So Zelda's just in the building. Been watching your mascots video here and there for a while now. Hello. Wow, I can't believe anybody watches those still. That's awesome. Hello. I'm surprised people like those. I've been thinking forever about redoing them as like short form TikTok style videos. But I don't know if anybody would be into that or not, but it's a sign that somebody's still watching those ancient YouTube videos, so thank you and welcome. Name this character as the name for the character like Jeff or Bob. How about we have the person's name this Okapi? I'll take any and all name suggestions for this Okapi. This is the species name, but its actual name can be something like Bob, like you suggested. Let me pull up. You wishing I would do more? I'm glad there's somebody out there that's interested because I really like retro mascots. Every time I see like when I'm out like at a thrift store or whatever and I see old school mascot stuff, I think about it. I'm like, man, I could talk about this character. So maybe I should do some like short form TikTok, or reels or whatever, short form videos, YouTube shorts. We're on YouTube. I should have just said YouTube shorts. I think we'll do a very bubbly nose. I kind of want to pull up Cartoon Zebra real quick. Cartoon Zebra. The species is Okapi. The name is Okapi, but we could pick a cute nickname for him. Yeah, let's do a nickname. Whatever you guys think would be cute. Maybe the character's name Cappy. Oh, that's cute. Cappy. This is such a rough sketch. I'm so sorry y'all have to look at this while I like think and pull up reference images. I'm sorry for your eyes right now. I'll make it better. I kind of want to exaggerate the size of the mane here. Make it a little crazy. I don't know if that's too much. I want this to be cute. Less tall, thicker and squishier and rounder is the way this has to go. So you can tell I haven't drawn yet today. This is the warm-up. Adios. Thank you for stopping in. Make the hair more fluffy. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. We'll do a big cute eye. Bring this thing to life a little bit. With a cute eyeball. Happy eyebrow. Down the neck more. Yeah. Take it all the way down here. And then add some tufts that are like a little bit longer. I kind of like this like French fry shape of hair for chunks of You know, maybe do a couple strands that are pointy, rounded at the end, of course. And then some chunks. Something like that. And then taper it off here so it kind of wraps around the back. And then make this fluffier up front. And then it would be alternating black and white for zebra. So we need to bring some of that zebra in. And should it be a mix of zebra and giraffe spots and stripes, or just zebra stripes? Because right now the only thing giraffe is the neck, which is pretty big. And I guess giraffes have very similar head shapes, because they are, you know, pretty similar. Like this, I was thinking zebra, where it's like shaded in. What we could also do... Ooh, what's the little things on top of the giraffe's head? I need words for things. Giraffe head things. I guess it would be antlers, right? But they look different than like deer antlers. They're called ossicones. Okay, they're not antlers. So I'm going to add a couple of those. The bumpy things that are on giraffes' heads. Ossicones. So I'll put one here. It's like fluffy at the end. Okay, this is shaping up. It's looking cuter. More can be done. I think the proportions are just like... Alright, this is better. This is better. It's still a long neck. It's still giving giraffe, but it's not quite as like... I feel like the butt being that high up was making it look more like a cow or something. It has to be lower. It kind of goes lower like that. And this is kind of a chubby okapi. Spots and stripes. Okay. Should we start stripes up here and then spots down here, you think? Or spots up here on the neck and then go down? Or maybe a mix where it's like there's spots everywhere and then stripes in between the spots. There's all kinds of options. Do a mix and match. We could do stripes up top. I think more zebra. Pick one of the two issue stripes. Okay, let's do some big spots. We'll make them extra big. Let me pull up giraffe cartoon. Just to get some ideas of how people simplify the spots here. We'll do a couple big ones. Make it real simple. And then as it goes up the neck, maybe a couple smaller ones on the leg here. And then do some stripes up the neck. And we'll also keep these a little simpler. Maybe just like some this way. We want a couple on the face, but we don't want it to look too crazy. So maybe like here and there's like smaller ones on the nose. So we want that zebra look on the face, I think. I think they have a black tip on the ear as well. Ooh, like those cats with spots and stripes. I think I'm going to stick to just the basic spots down below, stripes up top. I think that works just fine. Though these two right next to each other are kind of like not the vibe. Maybe I need another one here. That looks better. Alright, that's not too many, not too few. I think that's an okay amount of detail going on here. And what else? Oh, tortoiseshell cats. I think that's a decent amount of detail going on here. I think cleaning it up will help a lot of issues. So, because this was a lot of, all this scribbling was thinking. There was a lot of thinking happening here. But I think collecting our thoughts on a new layer will help. Yeah, Cappy the Okapi. Okapi my Okapi. Or whatever it was in Dead Poet Society. Okapi my Okapi. I'm sure that's what that movie was about, right? We'll do some chunky legs. Chunky feet. This is a good warm-up one, because I have not drawn today. It was too hot. And I simply didn't feel like doing any of the projects on deck. Though, again, got a plug. I only have a few projects in the queue, so if you're watching this either now or the recording for some reason, alyssaaaron.com/tree. If you'd like to get a commission of anything, I'm available. And get it in now before I regret it, and it's the holidays and I have too much stuff to do, and I'm like, sorry, your commission's going to take like 4 months. So, now is the time. Capybaras. Oh, she's loving it? Good, I'm glad to hear that. Capybaras. I should do some capybaras sometime. They're still popular and trendy. Usually like animal trends like owls kind of came and went. Highland cows are still kind of having their moment. But capybaras have been popular for a few years now. They haven't lost their shine yet. I keep seeing very trendy illustrated pieces of capybaras, like eating noodles and going to the grocery store and stuff. People are really into them. I'm kind of envious of, like, I see sometimes Instagram accounts and their whole thing is just drawing, like, they just draw a couple characters that are like their OCs that are just like cats or capybaras or birds or whatever, and that's all they post, and they get crazy numbers. And I'm like, I should do that with otters. I have so many ideas of like art related side things I want to do, but I mean, I don't even post on social media the stuff I draw on stream, so need to get with the program. I'm not exactly copying what I drew underneath. I'm just kind of feeling it through. Okay. I think that looks alright. Maybe needs another one down here. One on that leg. This leg is lacking one. Maybe another one here. If I made mascots with the hybrids, make mascots, I could do that. I've made mascots for a lot of small businesses. So like if a local plumber, handyman, that kind of thing needs a cartoon mascot for the side of their truck or their business cards or flyers and stuff, I do a lot of that kind of work. And then I'm also fascinated by what I used to do, old videos on this channel. If you scroll back a few years, I did a lot of videos about the animated history of different mascots. So the progression of, like, you know, Toucan Sam back from when he was introduced to the 90s commercials to now, and the more modern redesigns, and I talk about those. I've been scheming for years. It's like I should try to do these as, you know, minute-long videos or 2-minute-long videos, something shorter, because they were in this... That was the meta at the time on YouTube when I was trying to play the game of, like, making YouTube videos and trying to, like, get engagement. What they told everybody is make, like, 10 to 20-minute videos. That was kind of the sweet spot. And now it's like, if you're going to make content, either make it multiple hours long so people can watch it in the background and it, you know, raises watch time for your channel. Either make multiple hours long or make it, like, a minute long. And anything in between kind of gets lost. And as a viewer of YouTube and TikTok and whatnot, I find that that's kind of what I gravitate to as well. If I'm sitting down to watch a YouTube video and it's not, like, really long, I don't want to put it on, because I want to put on something for background noise, and I think to myself, 10 minutes, that's too short. I'm going to have to find something else to watch in 10 minutes. It like creates a new problem for me. So either super long or super short is where it's at. And I barely had the patience to do the 10 to 20 minute videos that I did, the highly edited, scripted, researched. But if I condense that into like 2 minutes, I think that's more doable. I think that's possible. But it's just funny the way trends go, and like I find my own viewing habits are very similar. It's either an hour plus, the more hours the better, or it's a 30-second TikTok or a minute-long TikTok or something that I like to watch personally. Maybe I'm just a sucker for the hip and happening trends. I'm not sure. But I also find myself watching similarly. I love when I see like, I don't know, a video with a good topic, good thumbnail that I'm interested in, and it's like 2 hours long. I'm like, yes, I feel like I hit the jackpot. Yeah, I'll show you the drawings I did last week after I finish this up. This won't be too long. You know what? I think I'm going to color these spots in. And by color in, I mean fill them with black. But I think to soften up the whole thing, I want to do an overlay of like sepia tone or something. Bring some more of that giraffe in as well with like a warmer neutral color. And then add some black stripes to the mane as well. And I think... Yeah, okay, I'm looking at a picture of a zebra right now. The way the stripes reflect, like the stripes carry on to the mane, like they kind of flow onto the fuzz here, which is a cute feature about zebras. So I'm gonna leave all those white. Maybe I'll have one black up here just for contrast. Maybe there's like a little forehead line up here, just to make that make sense. And then have one here, flowing from the stripe. Add a little shine to the eye. And outline the name. Oh, Cappy. Cappy. There we go. Get rid of the sketch layer. I'll just lower the opacity. And alpha lock. Let's change the background color temporarily to like a nice warm neutral. And then we'll do a nice wash of like a nice golden brown just to soften this up. Make it not so harsh and a little bit more giraffe-y because I'm not going to color it today. Fix these lines and these spots that are all wonky. Then maybe I'll do a pop of color with the eye. I'll make the eye a green or something that stands out just for fun. Then we'll move on to some sketch requests. Whoops. Just these little jagged areas in the spots here. I mean, nobody really notices but me, but I'm gonna notice. There we go. Cappy the Okappy. Let's add a little like a sage green or like dark green eye in here. Just because it's cute. What do we think? I'm gonna add the hint of the other ossicone on the other side just so we're aware that there's two. Same, there's another ear back here as well. There we go. What do we think of Cappy the Okappy? I think he's pretty cute. I think he's a cutie. Let me take a sip of water. Foam finger or Badass sword? Foam finger, I think, because it's funnier. Alright, there's Okappy. Let me show what I did last week for Leafy Kitty who asked. Did King Dedede swinging his thing around, his hammer, anvil, or not anvil, mallet. Oh my gosh, my head is not here. His mallet around. We have The person who requested this is in chat. I can't remember this character's name or what they're from, but a very cute character from an indie video game that I've never played. I liked how this one came out a lot. I think this one came out great. She loves him. He's very cute. Aw, I'm glad she loves him. And then we have this cat on a skateboard was their request. I don't remember who requested it. I didn't finish it. I might come back to this and finish this off stream, but I've said that about Bear in the Big Blue House and a couple other things. So we'll see. But I have a slow week this week to work on. I have a few projects in the queue and very little else. So my goal this week is to actually finish the stream graphics that are on the like stream starting soon that have remained unfinished since I started streaming. Gonna finish those. Gonna actually finish those and actually post some content to social media. I'm thinking about making a spam Instagram that's just for all the stuff I do on stream, so I can just mindlessly put it all on there instead of worrying about a curated feed or whatever. So immediately after the stream ends, I'll just dump everything I did on stream onto the second Instagram. That's a thought I've had. So I'll set that up this week. Anyhow, let's set up a 10 by 10 canvas. Let's do a neutral background color, and let's find that random list picker site. That was your first request you made? I was wondering who made that request. I was like, somebody requested just cat on a skateboard. Well, you know what? Because you requested it, I will finish it at some stage. Maybe at the end of the stream, I'll finish it up. It doesn't require that much. It doesn't require that much to finish it off anyway. Stickies. Where is my list? That'll be what we finish the stream off with, is finishing off the cat. Okay. First random thing. Drum roll. Totoro? How have I not drawn Totoro yet? Okay. Alright, well, let's remove him from the list so I don't roll him again. This is a nice, easy one, too. The list picker tool is being really nice to me today. And last week. Totoro. Okay. There's so many iconic Totoros. There's him at the bus stop, obviously, with the umbrella. That's iconic. I kind of want to do him like sleeping, laying down. I think that's cute too. Totoro laying down. I think that'd be cute. With I haven't seen My Neighbor Totoro in 100 years, so forgive me, but the little girl character laying on him is cute, snuggly. Or maybe I just draw him sleeping. He's just taking a snooze. I think that would be cute. I like his little closed eye too. Maybe I'll do a little sketch of both. Totoro. No, I actually appreciate the generic request I was talking about on the last stream. I'm like, I wish there was more random ones like this where it's like, you know, fox on a bicycle or, you know, something like that, because it gives you a little bit of wiggle room for how to interpret that. Yeah, let's do Totoro laying down. That's cute. I think it was either requested cat on a skateboard. It was somebody else that requested ages ago. It was like Pirate Fox or something I did way early on. It was something generic like that. Is there like a full shot of Totoro? Yeah. Okay. Enough blank screen. Let me pull up a reference and get to sketching. I want to see what his ears look like here. There's like not one shot of his full body. It's like one with his ears and one with his feet. I'll figure it out. Sure, if you have any random requests, I'll add them to the request box. Also, my iPad has been stuck on 9:41 p.m. for, I think, months now. Can you tell it's not hooked up to the internet? I want to try to stylize him a little bit, because Totoro's been drawn 8 billion times, I think. So, try to add some angles and, I don't know, different stuff. We'll have some little mossy, leafy stuff that he's laying on, and we want the bottom of him to look flat because it looks like there's more weight pushing up against the ground if it's like totally flat, I think. Big belly like so. And then we'll have the little kid, a simplified version. Puffy sleeve, puffy little hair. She's happy and snuggling. Little hand. Puffy skirt. Little leg. Little shoe. Let's see. Leg, shoe, little foot down here. I like that it's kind of like a ramp shape. Then square off this muzzle a little bit. Just have a different shape. And this can be some green fuzzy tree something or other over here. And I'll kind of just surround it all with green because I think that would make a nice frame. Even though the whole shot there's like leaves and all kinds of stuff, but I'll just do some kind of fluffy, fuzzy whatever with a brush, and then maybe add a few pops of leaves just to make it simple. Maybe have a few that are pointing toward Totoro's face to kind of lead the eye there. Those are very messy leaves, but I think you get the idea. Let's see, a baby dragon and a cat onesie reading a bedtime story while holding a teddy bear. Aw, that's cute. Let me add that to the list right now. Baby dragon in cat onesie reading bedtime story while holding teddy bear. And I'll put a little line next to that so I know it's one request. There we go. Make sure it's all in one line. Cool. That's a really cute request. I hope I roll that in the next couple weeks. Alright, let's find the ref of where his foot... Well, his legs are so stumpy. His foot's just kind of like a couple claws sticking out. Really. So I gotta pull this green leafy border in a bit. He's like laying in the crook of like a tree, it looks like. I haven't seen this movie in 100 years, so I apologize if I don't remember the scene. But we'll curve this part and this part up like so. And then this is mossy, so this can be softer, and I'm just going to write moss so I remind myself. This can be moss. And then these can be leaves, kind of pointing in like that. We'll simplify it though, it won't be this crazy. Yeah, random requests are fun. I like fan art, I like random requests. I'll do whatever, as long as it's cute and cartoony. I find it a fun challenge. Like, I really like how this one came out last week. I had never heard of the game, never heard of the character. And it's not a style I'd typically do, but I really like how it came out. So, if anything, it pushes me to new skills. So really, there's no wrong thing unless it's, like, super realistic or something I just don't feel like doing. But I'll just say so. These are trees up here. They're, like, mossy and soft, but... Okay. I'll just use, like, a chalky brush or something to make that texture. That should work. Where's that other ref at with the feet? Maybe we'll even do, to frame the whole thing, just do 2 big leaves, maybe. Like one over here, one over here. Or is that too much? That's too much. Undo, undo, undo. Keep it simple. From this part of the canvas up. That's what we're working with. Get his nose in there. His little happy closed eye.
teeny weeny. Maybe even move it here and maybe change the slope of the head a little bit. It's a little flatter. Getting the eye placement's tough because it's kind of, he's got kind of a wide head, but this side shot's a little better. It's got like a little shadow here. And his little nose is a little bit higher up. And he's got these little things here. Big whiskies. And I'm going to make his arms super flat. Up against the ground like that. Really simple claws. Give like a rounded straight line look to the belly. Get his little markings on here. I think the Studio Ghibli movie I've seen the most in my life is probably Kiki's Delivery Service. Because my sister knows my grandma had a copy for some reason at her house. Either that or it was always on TV when we were there. I don't know what that's about, but I've seen Kiki's Delivery Service more than any of them, and probably Spirited Away as well. But she's got her little bloomers sticking out here. Make this shorter so she looks like a shorter kid overall. There we go. Puffy dress. Puffy arm on the dress. I want to really exaggerate this kid. Is it little bows on her hair? Or is it little like Sailor Moon balls? I can't tell. Totoro kid. I think they're like little balls. Yep. Okay. Like that. Then I'll make puffy hair like so. Like Kiki's Delivery Service. Gigi. Yeah. Looks super cute. Love giraffes, so you're kind of blessed. Aw. You have a great imagination. Love to see that. Yeah, Kiki's Delivery Service is really cute. I would highly recommend it. It's a really, really sweet movie. Do a couple little hairs sticking out here. And a little happy smile. I think that looks like a big cuddly Totoro. Let me think of the proportions of like, if this is her body. Leg. Yeah, that looks about right. We're going to keep it simple too with the shapes. I don't know if I'll do full color on this one this week. We'll see. But I'm going to block this out in very simple shapes and go from there. So I wanted to get through a number of requests tonight. So the idea was to keep them black and white or not with any crazy coloring, but I think blocking this one out will help visualize it a little bit. So let's just make some shapes, shall we? The biggest, most obvious shape is the big Totoro shape. So let's start with him. The girl is called Mai, like May. Okay. Yeah, I just googled Totoro kid and I was like, I don't remember any of these characters' names. I don't remember anyone's name from Spirited Away except Chihiro Sen, the main girl. Which is funny because the whole thing was about like remembering your name. I don't remember even the Dragon River's name or whatever. I don't remember. It's been too long since I've seen it. Great movie though. The first time I saw that movie, it was a DVD rental from Netflix when they used to mail DVDs in the mail. If that tells you how old I am. I'm an ancient artifact. It was kind of fun when you get DVD in the mail, though. It was like getting an Amazon package feeling now, you know? Yeah, that was the first time I saw Spirited Away. And I want to say that's the first time I saw The Matrix, too. Was on a Netflix DVD. I'm pretty sure that's true. A little hazier on that one. But another great movie. Not kid-friendly, but great movie. It's just so funny. I don't remember too much from my Netflix DVD rental childhood, but I remember Spirited Away vividly. Do his nails like that. It's a nice silhouette. You can tell who he is and what his deal is. That's a Totoro. That's a Totoro. Right, we'll do a clipping mask for his belly. Right? No, not like that. Did it on the wrong layer. I'm like, what am I doing? Okay. And we'll add, I think, maybe like 1 or 2 tufts of fur to make him look fluffy instead of having it just be a solid shape. But we don't want to complicate it. Like 1 or 2 little tufts here. Just when the edges get a little pointier to soften it out and make him look a little fluffy. I think that'll work. Shade this all in. And I said I wouldn't do full color, but I mean, if it's easy to finish full color today, I will, but we'll see how it goes over the next 10 to 15 minutes while I do this. Let's do just some shade of red here for the girl's dress. Whoa, that's a crazy red. I don't like that. Let's just use something easier on the eyes. Like that is okay. Actually, we want this all placed under Totoro. The only thing we want on top is the arm, because everything else can be placed underneath him. And that'll keep it nice and clean visually. So how's everyone's day been? Mine's been great, aside from walking in the heat. It's been mighty fine. And I have a nice, boring day of nothing tomorrow that I'm going to take full advantage of by deep cleaning my room. So, a thrill. What a thrill. It's non-stop excitement here. And then catching up with commissions on Monday, Tuesday, and that should be my productive days. Monday, Tuesday. And then I'm in this nice little spot where it's a slow period for orders. And instead of worrying about it like I always do, and then inevitably 2 weeks later I have too much work and I'm like wishing I had no work again, instead of panicking, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to like draw things that I want to draw for fun and maybe even post them to social media. It's going to be shocking. It's been a while since I did that. Or at least catch up with like posting stream stuff to social media. I'll do something enjoyable and productive. Because I know I have a project on the horizon. I have another book somebody wants me to work on in September. So it's like, okay, enjoy before you have too much and you're stressed. Enjoy yourself. Let's do this sleeve here. And we'll do the head underneath the sleeve. Just pick a random color. We'll do a clipping mask for the hair. Sleeping mask. Dark like that. Your morning's been okay. Oh yeah, it's winter there. I do art for self-published kids books. So like if somebody's like, "Oh, I've been wanting to make a kids book my whole life and I want to, make this book for my kid," or I've done a series of like books that help kids be less scared of the dentist and stuff like that. So somebody will contact me and be like, "I need illustrations for this book I want to publish on Amazon." I know how to do the formatting for Amazon KDP, and I know how to do the illustrations, of course, so I work on stuff like that. I would love to work on real published children's books. So it's a long-term dream. I need a stronger portfolio for that, but it's a work in progress. It's tough to break into. You have to have a very, very good portfolio and an agent who can sell said portfolio to people who will pay money for book illustrations. It's tough, but I'll get there one day. Let's do these hair tufts here. It would be a miracle for you to... Yeah, I'd love to do. I would love to illustrate a book that winds up on a bookshelf in a real bookstore, That would be cool. Or I've seen people do licensed art where like, maybe I make a pattern of some cute unicorns and clouds and stuff. And then, somebody from a store like TJ Maxx or whatever reaches out and they want to license. Well, it wouldn't be TJ Maxx. It would be some random company that makes products that are sold in TJ Maxx. But some company reaches out and they're like, "Hey, I'd like to purchase the rights to use this design on makeup bags and tote bags and whatever." And they pay you a fee for that. So that's another hustle I've wanted to get into forever that I just haven't started. But there's many avenues for selling your art in this era, even in the age of AI and whatnot. There are ways. It's just taking the time to build it out. But I do all kinds of stuff, mainly through Fiverr, word of mouth, food truck designs, packaging designs, self-published kids books, business mascots, greeting cards, you name it. I've probably done it at least once. Your morning was so good. You don't know why it was just good. I love days like that where you're just in a great mood and you can't even pinpoint why. It's just all the stars have aligned. It's a good day. Let's do these here. And then I'll do a layer on top of everything for the face details. And we'll keep this all very simple. Nobody's eyes are even open, so it's going to be really simple. Thin eyebrows, I think, is the move. Yeah, they're really thin and the rough here that I'm looking at. Okay, that works for me. Maybe make the eyes themselves a little bit thicker. But keep it nice and simple. And the nose is also very simple. And just a little happy smile. And now her face looks huge, so I'm gonna carve down her chin and stuff a little bit. She's got kind of like an enormous chin now that we don't need. I kind of want to scoot her head and all that down though. So, where's the hair? Let's put the hair and the head into one group and then move that group. I want it to be squished into Totoro. Move the face. Maybe if I just move the face down on the head, because she does have quite a large forehead. That'll fix some of the proportion problems with the head. Okay, so her cheek is smushed into Totoro now. I think we can make this better. Let's... I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there was some thunder here just now. Sounded cool. Yeah, let's take that chin in. She doesn't need that much chin. There we go. That's cuter. That's better. And I mean, her arm's going to cover up some of this anyways, but That feels better to me. In fact, let's do the arm now. I'm just going to pick a random color. Going back to my reference I had open a minute ago. Where did it go? Right here. And yeah, that is on top of everything. Let me do a quick sketch, actually. Just to figure out proportion of everything. How big your hand should be and all that. And it's kind of a little balled up fist, so it's not even super detailed. Just like one line for one finger. And then a rounded little elbow. Okay, I think that works. Maybe even less of this part of the arm showing, and it's just this big puff of dress. It makes her arm look teeny tiny. Yeah, I think that works. Let's do random color on top. Even more random. Let's do like green or something so I can see it. And then we'll fix it in a moment. Like that. Your attention span's beginning to die. Peace. I hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm glad I got to do the cat on a skateboard request and show you. All right. Actually, I put this here. Delete that. That way I can put on the detail layer just a little line where the arm overlaps. And then like one finger. Like that, maybe. Then bring in Totoro's belly. Put it at full opacity so I can see. Yeah, I need to erase some of this so it gets overlapped by the fuzz and the fluff. The hand is kind of buried in it. Maybe even take the hand and make it a little bit lower. Like that. That's a little better. There we go. Okay, that's better. Especially zoomed out. Like, it looks about right. Dress, legs, bloomers, hair. All that stuff's done. So next is Totoro's face details and nails. Let's do his nails on a layer right here. And his markings all in one layer too. And his nails, I'm going to do the same as I did on the feet where it's very simplified and like squared off. Let me take a look. Yeah, I did them really simple and squared off. Which I could round them because he is round and squishy, but just want to add a little something. Maybe even... No. Never mind. I had an idea and then vetoed it. Where I was going to extend the line of this and make this the actual arm line. If I paint it black... Actually, it's not a bad idea. Let's do that. Bigger brush than that, though. Maybe. Like this big? Not much bigger. Yeah, I kind of like that. Something like that. But I want it flatter. Like... This is where I get to redo the same line like 80 times. Like that. I'm getting closer. One more. Okay. That works for me. Take it in a little bit. Oops. Take it in a smidge. Like so. And then I can fill these in with nail color. Ooh, can you hear the rain outside? I don't think my mic picks that up, but it's very soothing over here. We've got nature's ASMR happening in Chicago right now. Which is nice because the storm was supposed to stop like an hour and a half ago. I was a little bummed about it because I like a stormy night. But it seems like it's continuing, which I like very much. Trim these nails a bit. There we go. Happy eye. Let me see what his nose looks like. I think it's... Let's see. Totoro. Nose. It's kind of like so, with a little bump in the middle. Ooh, thunder again. You know what was not fun over this weekend? Well, it wasn't. So, if you're not in Chicago or haven't been to Chicago, every year they do an air and water show with like big military planes that come and do tricks and stuff, and they fly in and out of the downtown, and it's all, you know, glitz and glamour and cool tricks and stuff. What's not cool is I forget it happens every year. So every year, whenever the planes start breaking the sonic barrier and you can hear them, it's like, okay, is it World War III or what's happening here? And then you go to Twitter and you type in Chicago plane, and it's like, oh, it's the air and water show again. So it's not fun when it first starts happening, and it's insanely loud. But I will say I went to the beach yesterday, and it was very pleasant watching the planes do tricks from the lake. It was very enjoyable. So pros and cons. I can't overstate how loud these planes are. But it was cool to watch from floating around in the lake. And the water is perfect in Lake Michigan right now. It was my first time hopping in the lake in this summer. I've just been going to the pool because A, I hate sand, and B, I hate when the water's too cold in the lake. So as summer winds down, it's now finally the right time to go into the lake. It was very enjoyable. Alright, I think that's all the detail work with Totoro. Alright, and then how are we going to simplify this background? This is where I say this might be a job for next week, simplifying the background. Alright, let's give it our best chance, our best attempt here. They're stupidly loud. It's a little concerning when they first start happening. I wasn't even in like the ideal spot. Ooh, this is kind of cool with the greens. I might just rock with this. It was a happy little accident because I picked my edited round render brush. It should be moodier and darker than this, but this is a good start actually. I'm just gonna go with the flow here, make a little border, maybe cut out of it with the eraser. Let's do that. Yeah, I guess a little bit more north of where I was is like the spot to watch it from. But I didn't really plan on watching the air and water show. It was just kind of happening when I was at the beach. So if I planned it better, it would have been better views and whatnot, but it was a happy little accident. Much like this brush. I think I'll do a different layer for the trees. Because I want it... Let's see. Yeah. No, it'll all be underneath Totoro. Okay. Let's bring this down even further. And then I'll chip into it with an eraser, I think. Or a mask would be the move. So let's do mask. That way we can undo our mistakes. It was kind of like a cartoonishly perfect day out yesterday, actually. It's like the sun was out. Everybody was very peaceful and chill. There was a light breeze. It wasn't too hot. It was just hot enough that you could go tan and feel like you're cooking, you know. Planes in the sky. It just needed like somebody like flying a kite on the beach or something, but all the other elements were there, you know. I just needed to pack a big sandwich. That's what I was missing. And the last couple, it's a joke. The last couple times I've gone to the pool, I've packed a lunch because like they kick you out of the pool every hour to do like a safety check. So I'm like, well, might as well have snacks and drinks for when they kick you out of the pool. But the pool's been closed the last couple times, so I end up just going home and eating my sandwich at home like an idiot. And then the one time I go to the beach and I didn't pack a sandwich. So I'm the idiot. Next time. The roaring sound makes your heart beat faster. It's cool once you know what it is. It's not so cool when you don't know what it is and it wakes you up out of... Well, I wasn't asleep, but I was just laying in bed and it startled me when I heard the first one, I think on Thursday. A horrorcore drawing. I don't even know how to, like, off the top of my head what horrorcore even looks like, but I'll consider it. Maybe I'll just add horrorcore question mark to the list. Horrorcore. Why not? If I can make it cutesy, I'll do it. Because I know there's all kinds of different aesthetics that you can make cutesy, like pastel goth and stuff. So I'll consider it. Let's see. We didn't know I was planning to watch it from the apartment balcony. Yeah, it's cool how close they get to stuff. The planes. It's interesting how close they get in and out to the buildings. The whole vibe of the stream is cute, cozy, comfy, cartoony. So if I can adapt it to that, I'll try. It'll be very scary. Well, I make this stream very cute and all ages friendly. So, but if it's something I can creatively adapt into something cute, I'll consider it. But for now, it's been added with a question mark to my list of requests that I randomly choose every stream. So we'll see. We shall see. All right. Let's do a tree here. I think just changing these to different colors will help a lot. I don't know if I want to finish this one. I think I kind of want to move on to another random request. I don't know if I want to finish this one today, but we'll get a head start on it. We've made good progress. Put a bow on the demon. Yeah, that'll make it cute. I thought for a second you were talking about Totoro. I was like, what? Like, put a bow on that beast. I was like, I don't think canonically Totoro's a demon, but he's more of a guardian angel in the movie, if anything. Totoro's just big and fluffy. Alright, let's at least make this like a somewhat normal color. I think making these things normal colors will be a good stopping point for tonight. Let's do... Where's that reference of the colors here? Let's pick a nice bluey, greeny gray. So gray, green, a little bit more blue. Let's just start there. And then we'll tone it down. I think it needs to be darker and more green. Let's do Nico Roll. I love this brush. A little bit darker, less saturated. Okay, just a basic start. This similarly needs to be darker, greenier, grayer. So I'm just adding a little texture, but let me just take what I already have. So I like the variety of tones that are already in there, but let's just make it a little darker Less saturated. Oh, that's already much better. Hold on. Get rid of that. Lower saturation. Darker. A little bit more blue. Maybe even darker than that. Less saturated. That's better. And then behind him, all this would be an even darker green, gray, blue. Richer. Like that. And then Totoro himself. Let's do this ear real quick. This would be just like gray like that, maybe even darker. A little bit lighter. Okay. Where's Totoro and his big belly? Here he is. Let's full opacity him so we can see him. And he's a little bit warmer toned than everything else in the scene. So this is still pretty cool. Maybe like this. Like this. Okay, that's a little bit warmer. And then he goes into shadow on this side, like that. But this is almost blue. Something like that. It's like past his nose, he gets darker. And then on the bottom of him, like that. Oh, have fun at the sleepover. The green-blue color. Yeah, it's very peaceful. It's very tranquil, isn't it? This should be a little bit darker and greener. So, like, a little mossier. That's better. Very calming. Now this arm is the thing that's throwing me off the most. The skin color of the kid is like a slightly more pink version of Totoro's belly. It's like not super high contrast, but we'll work with it. We'll make the dark part of it like grayish, purplish. We'll just smudge it around a lot. Blend it, smudge it. Looks kind of gray and washed out. We need some warmth in her face. I could cheat it by adding some pink cheeks, which I might do. But I also want a shadow, so a little more red, perhaps? Okay, that's better. Again, I'm not going to finish this today. I'm just making progress on it. Don't be caught up in making it perfect. It's just progress. Because I would like to do at least one. Yeah, I got time for one or two requests. If I just stop at some point during this one. And I was going to finish the cat on a skateboard, but Leafy Kitty left, so I'll finish it next week. We want this sleeve color to be more clear. Like that. And then maybe a cool tone shadow like that. Maybe not make this so close to white. Maybe make it a little bit dimmer. Like that. Yeah, that's better. A little darker, a little softer. And then her hair is almost like, this is very random, but I got a pair of Crocs sandals that I love. And the color of them I get compliments on. People are like, I love your sandals. And I have to tell them, oh, they're Crocs. But they're not the regular Crocs. They're like actually nice sandals that just happen to be Crocs. And people keep complimenting them, but the color is called chocolate milk. So now whenever I see like a pale brown shade, I think chocolate milk, and it makes it extra cute. Maybe even a little bit, like chocolate milk would be like a little bit warmer, so like that. Maybe make her hair a little bit darker over here. But I think about that now whenever I see pale brown, I think that's a chocolate milk colored item. I think I've gotten more compliments on the Croc sandals than I have on any other pair of shoes I've ever owned. And they're just basic, like, T-strap slide-on sandals, but they're comfy. Now you want chocolate milk. Maybe not that warm of a shadow, maybe cooler, grayer, like that. Yeah, that's better. This is real messy, but it's just a work in progress. It's okay. I just want basically the right colors in place. This should be a pink. But we don't want it too bright, though she is brighter in the scene. I think on purpose, so your eye goes to her. Let's try this. It's a little too coral. Her dress color is a little bit cooler pink. So like that, perhaps. A little bit lighter. I'm trying not to directly color sample and use my eyes. But I think that's about right, or that feels right. That's cute. And the bloomers, we'll use the same white from the puff of the dress. And then her little foot, take her skin color. And then it looks like her shoes are yellow, I think, so I'm just going to add on a clipping mask. We'll add a little shoe on her little foot. Like there. There we go. What else? The whiskers and the eyes are last. Just make that all black. Easy peasy. Now this, my bright idea. Do that. Ooh, I kind of like the light gray fading into the dark gray, actually. That's kind of a look. I want it a little bit darker though so you can see. Oh, I like that. I know his claws are like light, but I kind of like that. I like how they fade into the black like that. And I'll do the same on his body, where he's got these claws sticking out down here. I like that his foot's so chubby it just kind of envelops his toes. Though I kind of want to make them light at the tip so you can actually see against the dark background like that. That's cute. Okay. And then the little things on her hair. They are red, but I'd like for them to be a little bit more dark. So maybe I'll just take this layer and brightness, saturation down a bit. It's like cherry. Okay, that's a little bit better. Cherry. And I think that's an okay place to stop. Her little dress makes her look like a little flower laying on him. Very sweet. Yeah, she's just a little flower laying on top of him. There's a little butterfly somewhere in one of these screenshots and like little flowers up and down the sides of the trees. So there's a lot more that could be done to make this finished and cute, but I'm going to put a pin in this because I'd like to do some other requests this evening. But we'll come back to Totoro when I have more brain power devoted for Totoro. Maybe I do a whole stream that's just finishing up stuff I started. Maybe I'll do that at like the end of the month or something. All right. Close these tabs. And let's do at least one more sketch request. We're going to roll real quick. Drum roll. Again, I need to... Sorry. Avatar The Last Airbender, Avatar The Other One dual stream. I'm going to add this to... whatever. I'm going to just move this to the end of the list. Okay. One more. My Sims DJ Candy. I already did My Sims DJ Candy. One more. Drum roll in your own head. Meowth. Okay. where is My Sims DJ Candy? Okay, we're removing that from the list right now. Because it keeps happening where I keep rolling stuff that I've already done. My Sims DJ Candy. Anyway, we're doing Meowth. That's what we got. So a nice easy one as well. Meowth, that's right. What's a good reference? Oh, I like that one of him with all the little coins around him. That's cute. Him swiping and looking angry is cute. Sorry for the dead air. I'm just scrolling through Meowth reference to try to get a really good one. I like him winking and being sassy. There's so many options for Meowth. I like him jumping up in the air and yelling. I like this one where he's swiping. I think that's cute. His claws are out. Maybe I'll just draw him jumping and looking excited. And I think he's almost cuter with his mouth closed than his mouth open. Maybe I'll just draw him looking frustrated and jumping up and down, and he looks angry. Because I think that's cute. He's in a mood about something. Okay, let's do that. There's 100 billion pictures of him looking happy. Let's do him looking a little frustrated. And we'll also try to stylize this and make it not look exactly like a carbon copy of the Pokemon style. I like his little lip. Little pouty lip. His little round teeth. His little gold coin on his head. Is it 3 or 4 lines? 1, 2, 3, 4. Little lucky coin. Maybe his ears back like he's a grumpy cat. His ears nice and thick. Let's do a couple lines like that on his cheeks. So he looks frustrated. Heavier top line on the eye than bottom. Kind of like a little eyeshadow thing. Or eyeliner. And he's just jumping up and down and stomping his feet because he's mad and he didn't catch whatever Pokemon Jesse and James were trying to have him catch or whatever. One of his fingers balled up in a little fist, but he's only got the 3 claws, or the 3, fingers, and they kind of just connect right to the arm. I mean, I can do whatever I like with the style. I could have him ball up his little fists in anger. I think that looks better, like, if he's got a little fist balled up. It's not correct, but I mean, maybe his claws are out because he's so crabby. Or he could be actually fighting, too. What, you do a little anime thing with his forehead? Where he's cranky? I kind of wanted him stomping up and down in anger. Let me look up, like, angry stomping cartoon. A good old, like, a Dagnabbit kind of jump in the air out of frustration. Get rid of this arm for right now. Because he's got these long feet like that. Let me pull that hand up a little bit. Its tail like so. I don't know if that makes it look like he's hopping or not, but I'm trying. Can I draw Cheesecake? Like the food? Or is there a character named Cheesecake? I mean, I can draw both, I suppose. Depending on who Cheesecake is, if it's a who. Not a what, like a slice of cheesecake. Because I can draw that. Where'd that other ref of Meowth go? I want his weird little toes sticking out like that. He looks pretty crabby. Oh, and his tail curls in like that, like a Squirtle tail. I think that's cute. I don't know, I think he looks crabby. Draw Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker playing ball. Like having a catch. Catch, son. That's kind of cute. And these are new names in the chat, I think. I have a horrible memory, so I apologize if you guys have been here before, but welcome either way. Welcome to the chat, the stream. It's a pretty chill evening tonight. Here in Chicago, it's storming, so it's extra chill and comfy here where I am. That's a pretty easy, lazy sketch. Let's just ink this one. This will be a nice, easy one. And we'll do another quick one after. Or I don't know, maybe the next request will be really difficult. I am pulling from, if you are new here, I am pulling from a list of requests that have been made throughout the last several weeks, months. People just drop them in the chat and I add them to the list, and then I use a random list picker tool thing to pick a random one from the list. So throw any requests in the chat, and if I think there's something I could do, I gravitate to cute cartoony stuff like this. So if I think it's something that would suit my style, I'll throw it on the request list, and you have a chance to get pulled. So feel free to throw your requests in the chat. First stream, welcome, welcome. Yeah, definitely gravitate. I have a couple things on there that are challenges that I'm avoiding for now, like the characters from Dune, Paul Atreides and Chani. Like, I don't draw a lot of humans, so I'm saving that for when I feel like doing a challenge. This is more my comfort zone, is like Pokemon, cartoons, stuff like this. So, or we were talking earlier about more generic requests. Like I had one the other week, last week, which was just a cat on a skateboard, and I like that. So general requests like, I don't know, hamster with a bunch of food in its mouth or something, I'll throw on the list as well. Whoops. I like how I said this wasn't going to be super Pokemon style, and then it just like is. But I guess it kind of looks like my style meets Pokemon style. It's like a fusion. Alright, these eyebrows are crazy. This eyebrow is too sloped, or maybe this one should be... No, this one looks correct. This one looks jacked up, so let's fix this. This should be like less tilted. Right? Yeah, that looks a bit better. Whoopsies. I have a running joke that I won't do, like Final Fantasy characters or any other characters that have like 8,000 belts on them, or like chainmail armor and swords and, you know, stuff like that. Cute, cartoony. You know, the closer it looks to a Pokemon, the more I'd want to draw it. I'm not even like a huge Pokemon head. I like a cute animal design. What app are you using? This is Procreate for iPad. And I do also do commissions both on iPad and I use Adobe Animate, weirdly, because I can do vector freehand art in that. And I use, which I don't animate, but I use Animate for commissions a lot. And Photoshop and Illustrator sparingly as well. But this is like my main, excuse me, this is what I use for streaming is Procreate, because it's just easy. I find drawing on here more fun than drawing with pen and paper or pencil and paper, to be honest. It just feels effortless to do. And the brushes, like even the default ones that come with Procreate are really good. And it's very easy to make your own as well, or adjust the ones that are in Procreate. So you don't even need to buy brushes and stuff. I have, but like the one I'm using now that I use for everything is one that comes with Procreate. Now I think I messed up here a little bit because this silhouette of this is getting hidden. Like you can't really see what's going on with his arm, but that's okay. It's a cartoon. So if his arm goes up here, here. So I guess his arm would go here. And he's got his weird little hand here. And he should have his claws out on here if he's going to have him on the other hand. Okay. And it's okay, I think, if this one's a little bit bigger than the other one, because it's a little bit closer to the camera. It's okay. We're aiming for good, not perfect, you know? It looks like Meowth. It looks like he's crabby. I'm happy with it. And most of the time when I do these requests, I just do like black and white line art like I'm doing here. Sometimes I'll add a little cell shading. Sometimes I'll go all out and add color. It just depends on if I'm feeling the request and how much time's left in the stream and whatnot. I tend to stream till 8:30 my time, 9:30 Eastern. Sometimes go a little over. And I've been wanting to stream more regularly, but I can't put that in the universe without actually like doing it. Because I keep saying I'm going to do this, that, the other thing, and then I just don't. But one of these days I'll get into a Monday, Wednesday, Friday routine and like have stuff planned for each day, but we'll see. I have many plans. It's about executing on said plans. But it's always nice to see new faces come in. Even if just for a minute. I've had people literally come in for a minute and say hi and leave. And it makes my night. Because I don't do any advertising really. It's all organic. And it's fun when somebody who shows up once ends up becoming a regular. It's a lot of fun. It's very chill in here. And everyone's very nice. It's a small but good crowd. And then let's redo those whiskers. I can do better than that. And I think he's got some on his head I'm missing. Yep, he definitely has two on his head that I'm missing. So let's do that one. A little bit thicker than that. That one, don't like how it runs into a little anger line there, but I have a solution. I have an idea. I think if I just make that red, it'll help a lot. You subscribed? Thank you so much. Now, I haven't posted a YouTube video in a very long time, but I was saying to the stream earlier, because somebody else came in here earlier who was like, I was just watching your mascot videos. And I was like, I can't believe anybody watches those. Because I made them so long ago. And I can't even rewatch them because it's one of those, like, I could do better now. So it, like, makes me cringe. But people still like them and they watch them. So another thing I keep saying I'm going to do, along with streaming more regularly, is revisiting that mascot video idea and doing, like, short form videos of them instead of the 10 to 20 minute ones I was doing. Just do, like, 1 to 2 minute ones for shorts and TikTok and whatnot. I have many plans. Will I follow through on any of them? I don't know. But I'd like to. What pencil stroke am I using? I am using the dry ink brush. I'm using just the basic one that comes with Procreate. I also have a modified version called Dry Ink 1 that's just the exact same thing but smaller and with fewer speckles in the middle of the stroke. If you can see, this is like the modified one. It's just solid, but it still has that texture on the outside and it works the same. Whereas the default, see all the white in there, which is really nice for texture, but sometimes you need something a little more crisp for detail. So those are the two I use for almost everything I do. These are all the brushes I use on a regular basis. They are all Procreate defaults except for this chalk one here, which I barely use, to be honest. The sketch one, which I use for sketching sometimes because it's got like a nice soft edge. And Round Render, which is like this nice soft buildable one I really like. Those brushes are all from a brush pack called Jing Sketch Ultimate Collection. I used to have an affiliate link for it. I don't anymore, but if you just search Jing Sketch, Jing Sketch, you'll find those. Oh, and this rougher taper one I bought from some other brush pack, but I don't really like it or use it, so disregard. But Dry Ink, Procreate. I think it's under, on default, I think it's under inking. No, it's under, where is it? Drawing? Artistic. I might have just moved it out of the original folder, so. Sketching. Oh, 6B pencil is also very good for a pencil brush. That's default as well. I think I moved it out of the original. I just put it in a folder called Toolbox of my most frequently used brushes. But it's a really, really good brush. I love it. Let's actually do this anger thing on a new layer. Just so I can fill in the ears with black here. So I think it'll help make it look more accurate to what Meowth looks like. And I got obsessed with the dry ink brush because I followed some other artists that was doing like Disney style art of like Billie Eilish or something like that like years ago, and I thought it was just like such a nice crisp tapered edge on thing. Like it just looked good with everything, and I was like, what brush is that? And they said dry ink, so I've been using it ever since. So happy to pass on the good news of the dry ink brush. It is my favorite. The only downside is when you do what I do and you make like a solid shape and then you fill it, you have like this nasty little border, but it takes like 2 seconds to just go in and clean up. It's not that serious, but that's the only downside. Other than that, it's perfect. And with that, I think that's a Meowth. Maybe I'll do a little bit of cell shading here. And then I'll have time for one more quick request before I gotta go make myself dinner, because I have not done that yet today. I don't know why I'm like this. When I'm streaming, I could just eat before the stream. I had all day, but this is how I am, unfortunately. I'm like, it'll be a reward for doing the one thing you had to do today besides go to your singing lesson. Is Procreate free? It is $20 one time. It is not a monthly subscription, which is part of why I really like it. It's not like Clip Studio Paint for iPad, I believe, is $5 a month recurring. And people keep saying Clip Studio Paint is a better program, but I pay for enough subscriptions. I don't need another subscription fee. So you pay $20 one time for Procreate, and then you never have to pay for it again. And I like that business model. Ooh, you're right about his eye. Good call. Bring that down, actually. Like that, so it matches the other one better. There, that's better, I think. They look a little uneven, but I'm not mad about it because he's supposed to look angry. Maybe this eye should be smaller, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, that looks about right. Yeah, as far as value for art programs go for the iPad, I could not recommend it enough. And you don't need to buy brush packs. The default brushes are very, very good. And it's very easy to make your own as well. There's tons of YouTube tutorials, but even if you just mess around with brush settings, you can find some really interesting things to do with the brushes on Procreate. And then one more brush I highly recommend that is technically a Procreate default, but you're going to have to search for it. This chalk brush is my favorite texture brush. I use this for like almost every storybook style illustration I do because it's this really nice, soft, buildable chalk. This used to be default on Procreate, but on the newer versions of Procreate it doesn't come with it. So you just Google Bonobo chalk Procreate and you'll find the file for free. People have re-uploaded it to Reddit and stuff like that. I always like to tell people about that one too because I love that brush. I've never found a better texture brush for that. And I've bought a few brush packs in my day. I think all of them except for the Jing Sketch brush set were kind of a waste of money, to be honest, because I just never use them. Rarely I'll bust out a brush from some niche set I bought. But really it's all just dry ink. Dry ink, Nico Roll, Bonobo chalk. Those are my top 3. If I had to delete everything else on the iPad, it would be those 3 I'd keep. Alright, I think this is looking like a nice little angry cell shaded Meowth. What do we think, folks? I think he looks pretty cute. I'm going to take a sip of water here. I'm going to roll one more random request and then get out of here. Now let's close these tabs. I have so many tabs of Meowth and Totoro open. We don't need all that. All right. I'm not even going to do the drum roll. You do your own drum roll. Ready? I'm going to pick one more. No, I'll do the drum roll. Ice Cream Pokemon. We're doing another Pokemon. I know there's a few different Ice Cream Pokemon. That was just, the request was Ice Cream Pokemon. And I've done the one with the strawberries on its head before. Vanillish and Vanillux. Oh, it's like the whole... There's like the little baby one, Vanillite. Vanillite's really cute. I think Vanillish, the middle evolution, is the one to draw. Yeah, I like that. So it's a double Pokemon night. This is a very Japanese evening we're having here, accidentally. With Totoro. Yeah, everything except Okapi the Cappy, the hybrid zebra giraffe. Everything else has been Japanese. So we've got a rough work in progress Totoro. We've got a Meowth. And now we're going to have another Pokemon. Total Japanese cultural domination happening in tonight's stream. All random picks from the list picker as well. So let's get to sketching. And actually this kind of character is where I like to use the Sketch Taper render brush. This is one that I got from the Jing Sketch, Jing. I'll just write it out. This ultimate brush pack or whatever for Procreate is the only one that I tell people if they want to buy a brush pack, get it, because I use this brush all the time and the round render. It's so good. I should get that affiliate code again and stick it in my description because I talk about it I think every stream. I used to have an affiliate code and then I just didn't keep up with it, or like the link expired or something. I don't know, but anyway, I really like this brush because it helps me mentally build out these like soft round shapes, which is all this character is soft and round. I'm going to start over because I want to do a slightly different pose, if you can call it that. Different angle. I'm gonna make it a little squishier too. I feel the soft round shapes of a thing better when I use this brush first, and then I go over it with the dry ink on top to make it nice and crisp. But I really like the softness of this, and sometimes I've outlined pieces in this if I want them to be really soft, but it just feels good to draw with this brush. I really like it. It feels very natural. I feel like I'm like sculpting with this one versus other brushes. It's like clay. I'll do the big eyes. They're fairly close together. I'll do them almost cross-eyed. I like his big goofy mouth. I'm going to kind of stylize it a little bit wider than it actually is, because I think it's cute. And his little drool. His little diamonds by his eyes. I've also been wanting to make my own brushes because there's aspects of all these that I absolutely love, but I feel like there's things I want to do in my brain with brushes that don't exist yet that I think I could do, but maybe I'm giving myself too much credit. But if I ever do make my own brushes, I will let you all know. I know what I like and I know what I dislike in a brush. So I'd love to have a toolbox full of brushes that are just mine, that are exactly what I need for every task. That's the dream one day. I need to make a little room down here for these other diamonds that are down here, whatever these are, sugar crystals, whatever. He's got some diamonds right here. Bring this little tuft of ice cream down a little bit. This little icicle hanging off the bottom here. Another one here. And then a diamond pattern on the cone, but it's like ice, so I won't finish these lines to make it look a little icier. Then coloring will help too, but I'll just do some rough color on this one. And he's also got some chunks of ice sticking out of the ice cream. And no, Jing Sketch is not this character's name. I need to delete that layer in a minute. I'm going to move this up so this hunk of ice doesn't run into that. There's like these little shapes cut out onto the cone there. Like a round triangle. And then some little more clouds of cold air surrounding him. This one came together pretty quickly. I think he's looking cute though. He's a happy fellow. I've said it before, I'll say it every stream that it's a relevant topic. I'm a defender of the random item Pokemon. Like this guy, Trubbish, Klefki. I like the Pokemon that are just stuff. Like everybody says, oh, they ran out of ideas after Gen 1 or whatever. And like maybe that's the case, but I like the random junk Pokemon. I think they're cool. I think it's fun that there's stuff that's just a Pokemon. And we'll do dry ink lines on top. Clean this one up. I almost like the soft lines better because he's ice cream. What do we think? Here, I'll do a new layer. Whoa, not that thick though. I kind of like the softness on him instead of the dry ink. I think either could work. What do we think? We got soft over here, and we got dry ink a little crispier over here. What do we think? Hard or soft? Gives me an excuse to take a sip of water real quick, because it won't take much longer to finish this one. Sorry for the siren outside if you can hear that. I'm leaning towards the soft, honestly. I think that might be a better look because he is ice cream. It's not too much of a difference when you zoom out, to be honest, but like when you get up close, one's a little soft and fuzzy and one's a little hard and crunchy. I think soft might be the move. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that. You like soft because you soft serve. Is the iPad screen textured as well? It is not. I used to have the... You like soft? Good, me too. It's unanimous then. I used to have the paper-like texture screen protector on the iPad, but I found it more distracting to use than fun. It does feel nice, but I don't know, something about the way the screen looked through the slight differences in the refraction of like the texture, I wasn't crazy about. I'd rather have it be more accurate when I'm drawing personally, but it's a matter of personal preference. There's people that swear by it, and it's a very satisfying sound. Whereas this, like when you can hear it, it sounds like tap, tap, tap plastic on glass, because that's what it is. So if you get a lot of satisfaction out of the feeling of it and the sound of it, I would recommend it. For me and the work I do, I didn't really see the benefit of using it, so I just stopped. But I'll admit when I see a speed paint video and somebody's got the paper-like texture on the iPad, it's way more satisfying to watch than if somebody doesn't have it. So if you're planning on making any kind of content, time-lapse, filming yourself drawing, that kind of stuff, it might be worth it. Because I do think those videos perform better because they're more satisfying because they have a nice sound to them. I like watching them a lot. It's all up to what you prefer. You don't need it. I used to have a Cintiq 24 HD, which is like the big bad drawing tablet that like they use at Disney. That's like the size of a desk. That's a big screen that you draw directly on. I used to own one of those back in college, and I ended up hating it because I only used about 12 inches of screen space, which is about what I use on the iPad here. It says the 12.9 inch. I only used about that much space, so it was kind of a waste of space. And also the pen, no matter what I did with the nib, I tried different replacement nibs, brush settings, program settings. No matter what I did, it always felt like drawing with a big, soft, fat marker and didn't feel precise enough for me. Now, I grew up drawing a lot with ballpoint pen on printer paper. That was how I practiced drawing as a kid. So I like the really firm point on a hard surface. But a lot of people love their Cintiqs and swear by them, so it really comes down to personal preference. I like the iPad way more. I almost liked the regular pen tablet without the screen more than my Cintiq, to be honest. But it was a nice experience owning such a professional piece of equipment and getting that experience with it. So if I ever found myself in a setting where I had to use one for some reason, at least I know I could. But it was not worth the money because I didn't prefer it. This was way less money and way more portable, and I like it way more. So pros and cons. And then one more iPad thing I use, since we're on the train of thought of stuff I use for drawing. Whenever I use Photoshop or something that's not Procreate installed on the iPad, I have this app called AstroPad, the little dog icon on the bottom of my screen here. And that will mirror whatever is on my MacBook screen onto my iPad. So I can use the iPad essentially as like a mini Cintiq. And that's what I do for most of my work. And I think AstroPad Basic is free, but I pay for the premium one, which is like less laggy or whatever. And I think it's like $30 for the whole year or something. But just something to consider if you're a freelancer or interested in doing commissions or anything like that. I think it's well worth it. And it's a tax write-off, so it's not so bad. But my dream workflow would be to only use Procreate because I find more enjoyment using just this than anything else. Doesn't always work for professional work. They want vector file format and this and that and editable files, but in my dream world, all I have to use is Procreate. Because it's just the most fun thing for me to use. And people swear by Clip Studio Paint and all this other stuff, but I like simple. I like that it feels like an infinite sketchbook. Just pick it up and just get right to it. There's very little fussing around with settings or brushes or any of that for me. So I really enjoy it. I'm going to fill in his mouth. I'm not going to make this super dark either. And maybe I'll do an overlay of blue just to make it all look cool and chilly. That would be nice. Here, I'll do one more layer. And then I'll color everything blue really quickly. Then maybe add a little texture for fun. Just to make it look a little chilly. And then I'll get rid of that layer that says Jing Sketch because I don't think we need that anymore. I gotta get that affiliate code back up and pop it and put it in my description. I think I talk about that brush set like every other stream. Oh, one more little cloud of blue down here. You like Clip Studio a lot since you started using it. How's everyone's evening time zone? Everybody says Clip Studio is great. My only objection to Clip Studio for iPad is I refuse to pay a subscription. I already pay for Adobe and I can't get out of that. So I'm not looking to add another subscription for art, but I hear it's a fantastic program. And also my evening's going very well. How about yourself? I also like how you can upload images as well. You paint and sometimes see what elements you want to add by adding them on Procreate first. It's a great way to do like mock-ups or ideas, brainstorm. It's just the ultimate portable sketchpad. I love it. Sketchbook. Can I draw your profile picture? I can't see it very well, but I don't do OCs or anything like that. However, how my requests work is if you have a request for like a specific character from a cartoon, if your profile picture is, I don't know, I'm just throwing out a cartoon, like just say it's Meowth, because I drew Meowth not that long ago. If you want me to draw Meowth, you just say Meowth in the chat, or like, could you draw Meowth? I'll add it to, I have an ongoing list of requests from various streams, and whenever I need to do a random sketch stream like this, I'll just have a random list picker tool that picks from the list. So you have even chances of getting picked with everybody else, if that makes sense. But I can't see your profile picture from the little chat bubble here, so I apologize. I can't tell if it's an OC or a character from a cartoon or something. I didn't want to do full color of this, but I'm already on track too, so. Yeah, we'll keep it simple. Because I'm about to get off here and make some dinner as well, so. It's nice to see some new faces in here, though. I wonder why this stream is the one that's been getting some new faces. It's interesting. So I just let it be organic and let it do its own thing and see what happens. Doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to when people show up, but I'm appreciative of it. Alright, we'll do a white background, maybe lower the opacity of all this. We're going to keep it just basic monochromatic, chill, literally icy. Let's do like that color. Maybe make it a little darker. And now I don't like the color of the mouth. I kind of want the mouth darker. I said darker. It's because the opacity is low, isn't it? Yeah. Alright. Well, we'll do the mouth on a new layer real quick then. Want the mouth to be the same color as the outlines, actually. Or you know what's even easier? I just go to the line layer and fill it. Even easier. So it's just a solid blob. Is it not a one-time payment for iPad? I believe Clip Studio Paint is one time for desktop, but it's $5 a month for iPad, which is not a very high subscription fee, to be honest. So if you love the workflow of Clip Studio Paint, I think that's well worth it. But I'm so used to Procreate and I love it, and I love that it's just $20 one time. You caught my attention when I saw you using Procreate. Cool. I'm glad to hear that. Just saw the notification, thought I'd pop in. Yeah, I was just talking about how like I haven't made YouTube videos in ages and ages. I just kind of lost the desire to do it one day, where I was just like, I don't feel like doing this, so I'm just not gonna do it. Because my goal with YouTube was never to like grind and hustle and be like, you know, full-time YouTuber. It was just like a fun hobby I was doing for a while. And then I got into streaming, and I do it once a week. I've been looking to do it 2, maybe 3 times a week, but I have a hard time following through with what I say I'm going to do as far as work that's outside of my freelance work that I do for a living. So we'll see. I'm entering a slower season for my freelance, so we'll see. We'll see. If more and more people start showing up, it'll motivate me to like, okay, maybe I should stream 2 to 3 times a week and take it a little bit more seriously, huh? Actually give myself different thumbnails for each stream instead of just using the same one, you know, advertise. Do the stuff you're supposed to do when you stream, but honestly, it's so chill, I don't want to make it less chill for me, so baby steps. Baby steps. Alright, and then one more thing I wanted to do is do like, maybe like a light blue textured background or something, just to make it look icy and cool. I like the monochromaticness of this. I think it makes it look frosty. It's a very faint blue, but I dig him. I like him. Maybe even lighten it up in the middle just to... Yeah, there we go. Brighten it up where the ice cream is. That low contrast. I like that. I think he's cute. I do want to tint this more blue. Yeah, that's a little too green. Same with these. A little more blue. That's cute. We'll look at this happy ice cream. Vanillish. I dig him. Do I just stream on YouTube? Yeah, just because I already had, you know, 6K subs or so on YouTube, so I figure let me just do YouTube streaming. I already know how to use the YouTube platform. It made sense for me. If I ever get serious about it, maybe I'll look into dual streaming, but I've heard mixed things about getting started on Twitch, if it's even worth it, if you're doing just art streams and I don't know. I don't know whose advice to follow for that kind of thing, but for me, YouTube was the easiest, and it made the most sense because I already had a little bit of a built-in audience from YouTube. So we're going to recap what I worked on this week, or this stream. Well, I guess this week. Okapi the Cappy, which is a hybrid giraffe and zebra, a request from my niece who loves the hybrid animals that I do. I've done a lot of those on stream as well. If you guys are new and you missed, I was rolling all kinds of combinations of animals, if you can see by the spread of stuff I've done on stream here. Did a start of a Totoro piece. Didn't feel like finishing it tonight. We'll get back to it. That's a whole stream in and of itself, is just finishing stuff I started. Like, I want to refine this Bear in the Big Blue House piece as well. We'll come back to that another day. Did a Meowth. And last but not least, did this Vanillish. So, a pretty productive stream this stream, if I do say so myself. Still need to finish Cat on Skateboard from last week as well. So, Totoro, Cat on Skateboard, Bear in the Big Blue House. And there was one other one I wanted to finish. Oh yeah, Moo Meadows cow. I'm going to delete that whole background and just make it a splash of color and call it good, because the hot topic of Mario Kart World has came and went, and I never posted it, so whatever. What else do I need to finish? I think that was it for like ones I wanted to finish. And I never posted Lowly Worm. There's so many nice ones I did on the stream I just haven't posted. Guys, I need to get on my social media game. This is ridiculous. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm going to go make myself something to eat. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I hope to see you all for the stream next week. Have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.